Hi everyone, you have reached Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. For all of you out there, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Like this video, hit the like button, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And finally, share my video with your friends and family so that they can come to my channel and get to know me also. I'm here today with a video on Monique. Monique who? Monique the comedian, Monique the actress, Monique the one who recently made a very controversial statement that has set a firestorm in social media, and people are coming at her neck. And the cancel committee, I don't know exactly who is on this committee. I don't know why the committee was created. It's a bit much, but it exists. They're like, cancel her. And you know, the whole premise behind cancel somebody, the standards are so low that, you know, you can say one wrong word and people want to cancel you. I'm here to say first, Monique, for those who don't know, is known as a comedian, an actress. She did, I want to say, the Queens of Comedy. I loved her on the show The Parkers. This is decades ago. I never missed the episode. I loved that show. She did the movie Precious. And Precious, that movie was somewhere after that movie where she started to run into a little bit of trouble with her Hollywood co-workers, cohorts, producers, whatever you want to call it. And I think after her debacle with the whole Precious thing, that's when we started not to see her so much, because I want to say, you know, she was blackballed. So what happened with the movie Precious, you know, anytime you do a movie, and it was a great movie at the time, it still is a good movie. It's hard for me to watch over and over because there was some hardcore messages in that movie that it's a good movie, but hard for me to watch. But anyway, she did the movie. It was a success. Mariah Carey was in that movie, if I'm remembering correctly, and they wanted her to do a press run once the movie came out. One, I heard, don't quote me on this, she did not get paid much to do the movie, okay? I want to say it was a Oprah production, and Lee Daniels was a part of this movie. So she did not get, well, he was part of like the producing of it or something to do with the movie. She did not get paid much to do the movie. This is what I heard, okay? And then so once it came time to do the press, at that time, if I remember correctly, she had just got married and she had a set of twins. And, you know, they wanted her to fly here, there, and wherever to do the press. And, you know, anybody that does a movie, you see that when they do a lot of press runs, you know, when their movie comes out. One minute they're in LA, the next minute they're in New York, and they're all over the place trying to promote their movie. Well, Monique told them, listen, I have a new family, I have a husband, I have twins. I cannot just be running at the drop of a dime to all of these press releases. Now, here's the thing. No matter if you're a superstar or not, you're working for somebody. It's a job. And if part of the contract says you need to do these press releases, then you need to do them. But on her side, I can totally understand that, one, if you was not paid that much for the movie, two, I don't know how this works, if they get paid to go to all of these different press releases, but if they don't, imagine you got to look nice at all of these press releases. You got to have hair, makeup done. And it's like I'm flying all over the place and I didn't even really make any money. So I'm spending money for a movie that I was in and didn't make much. Don't know, but I do know after she pulled back from doing so much press, that started the blackball in the industry for her. And it just kept going downhill from there. She was in, you know, back and forth with Oprah. And, you know, when it's Queen Oprah, going against her could be deadly to your career. There was a lot of apologies after that. I think Tyler Perry got in the mess. Her friend Steve Harvey tried to help her. So it was just a whole lot of tension back and forth. And I think ever since then, so many people, no matter what comes out of Monique's mouth, because she is not the most liked one in Hollywood, people just are ready to cancel her in every word that comes out her mouth. But you know what? God sends messages through everyone. And just because a person is not most liked does not mean that their message should be dismissed. So I have to ask everyone, Are we mad about the message that Monique delivered? Or are we mad because the message came from her? Are we mad at all of the above? Would we have felt differently if someone else delivered this message, someone more popular, someone that we like and admire? Would we have received it differently and maybe changed our behavior because the message came from someone more liked? I don't know. But I have to ask you this, and I'm just going to pull my notes here for 1 minute. So what message am I talking about? Well, Monique said she was recently getting ready to catch a flight out of the Atlanta airport. And when she got there, she was disappointed because she saw so many of her sisters, not literal sisters, but sisters showing up in bonnets, scarves, pajamas, and slippers and blankets wrapped around them, I guess, because sometimes if you like me, you freeze on the plane. Okay, so she was like, ladies, pretty much, and I'm paraphrasing, we got to show up better, we got to do better, and you shouldn't be walking the streets with a bonnet, slippers, a scarf, and so forth and so on. Well, here's what I have to say about that. There are so many quotes out there that are kind of indirectly saying the same thing as Monique. So that's why I didn't understand why people were so emotionally charged by it, right? Will Smith said this one. Others have said it in different variations, but people buy into these. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Will Smith said that, right? So my thing is, if you're going outside in something that is traditionally known as clothes for bedtime, are you ready? And when you step outside in those items, and if so, what are you ready for, right? So if you're going to stay ready, when you walk outside with a bonnet and a scarf and pajamas and slippers on, you're telling the world, I'm ready for bed, because that's what they recognize those items as, right? Let's hear the next one. Don't get ready, stay ready. And Lisa Nichols is known for that particular quote. Who is Lisa Nichols? She's an amazing motivational speaker. If you don't know, look her up. Her story is phenomenal. She is truly a rags to riches story, okay? And her words is, don't get ready, stay ready. And again, I'm telling you, when we have visions of certain things connected with other things, as pajamas connected with sleep, when you walk outside in your pajamas and your slippers and your headscarf and your bonnet, what are you telling the world you're ready for? Okay, another one is you only get one chance to make a first impression. So true. Yeah, maybe you could come back and show me who you really are, show me something different, but you got the first chance, only one chance to make a good first impression. And they said most people make that impression within the first 7 seconds. Again, what I'm saying to you, nobody's saying that you're stupid, that you're dumb, that, you don't care about yourself because you do this. We're just saying, what are you presenting to the world when you show up that way? You're showing up at an airport, which is traditionally known that people's about to fly somewhere and do something like that. But you're showing up in your pajamas, your slippers, a bonnet, and a scarf. What first impression are you giving the people that you're encountering? And before I read my next close, let me say this. You never know when a blessing is going to come to you, who it's going to come from, and how it will be presented to you. If you could need a job and could be walking through this airport, and it could be a person that, owns a company or has a open position at their company. And, they're just looking at different people and they see you and they see the mannerisms of what you're buying, the magazine from the newsstand in the airport, how you're saying thank you to people. Those are all first impressions that you're not even aware that's happening. And then this person could end up speaking to you like, do you need a job? Like, where do you work? I mean, I just saw how nice you was to this person. I saw you pick up this baby bottle. I saw you help that mother. And, you're just looking the whole part. What is your first impression when you're showing up in your pajamas, your slippers, your bonnet, and a scarf? I'm just saying, think about it. Stop hating where the message came from, how it came out of her mouth. Maybe you didn't like the way she said it. Forget about that and hear the message and just think to yourself, she's telling us something. All right, let's go to a next one. You never get a second chance to make a great first impression. You don't. You can get a second chance to make a second impression, but you'll never get a second chance to make the first great impression, okay? It says, how you present yourself is another one, is how people first view you. So it says, what are you showcasing? What are you showcasing? What are you showcasing when you roll out your bed and you decided it's okay to wear your pajamas, your slippers, and a bonnet or a scarf? And I get it. If you want to go into tradition, listen, I struggle with my hair. It's not, and I've been struggling my whole life, okay? So I have a bald spot that is just naturally in my hair. Even when the days when I perm my hair, I'll take you all the way back. I had a jerry curl. I was always so self-conscious of covering the bald spot. Even with my braids, I tried to wrap it around so it minimizes that spot that is just naturally there. And I do get it. Maybe when we're in between hairstyles, it's like, oh my God, I gotta run to the store. I'll look better putting on this scarf than me presenting what's going on in my head right now, But I think we could find better ways of presenting ourselves, especially if you know you're going to go someplace like the airport. But again, that's just, my thoughts on the situation. So to give a whole overall summary of what I'm trying to say is, yes, don't beat me up. I agree with what Monique is saying, right? I understand there may be circumstances where, look, I just had to run out and go. But when you go into the airport, that's not a surprise because you cannot go get on a flight without having a ticket. Pull yourself together. What's the big deal? And I also totally agree. How you walk outside is how you representing yourself. And I tell my son all the time, and I do it for myself. I will not just roll out the bed and just go out looking any old kind of way. Even if I am going through something, I'm down in the dumps, I don't have a dime to my name, I'm going to iron my clothes, pull myself together, and when I show up in the streets, you will never know what is going on in my life. You wouldn't have a clue. I'm always, people say I say this word wrong, but it is what it is. I iron everything, down to my son's t-shirts that are going underneath his shirt. I just never, old school is, you're not going to go outside looking crazy because you're representing me as your mom, you're representing our family, and you're not going to do that. We have gotten into this trend in this world where everything is kind of laid back. We wear leggings for everything. And listen, not telling you to stop wearing your leggings. Do what you got to do, right? But on the same note and token, I get what this sister is saying. Some of us are, we take some things and we just go over the top with it, okay? To wear your slippers, pajamas, a headscarf, and a bonnet to the airport, like, stop. Get yourself a comfortable jogging suit. I don't care if the jogging suit came from Walmart or Target. Get some hair oil and some spray or whatever, and do whatever you can to your own hair, but you don't have to show up in the scarf. You don't have to show up in the bonnet. And maybe you say, you know what? I just got my hair done. I'm going to be falling asleep on this plane in this seat. I don't want to mess it up. Find a different way. Maybe show up to the airport without it on. And then when you're in the plane, on your seat, find some way to, protect your hair. And then when that plane lands and you're about to get off the plane, take that off and get off that plane like you're walking down the runway. And I'm not saying you got to have on designer clothes or anything like that. Like you're walking down the runway, whether you're in your jogging suit or sneakers or whatever the case may be. But Again, this whole bonnet theory, scarf theory, pajama theory, and slipper theory outside, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I understood what Monique was saying. If you go to her Instagram, she did a whole live about it. And she said, listen, guys, I was coming to you in love. And people love to say it's not how you say it, it's the way you say it. But with some people, it really doesn't matter how you say it, the way you say it. They take personal offense to almost everything. And listen, guys, you can't grow if you don't know. You will never grow if you can't accept feedback. You will never grow if you don't understand that there will always be a person in this world that you can learn from. We always say to people, you know what? When you get up there, teach me. Each one teach one. But when we're trying to teach you, you don't want to hear the message. You want to say to somebody, well, how did you get there? How did you do this? When we tell you, you get pissed and was like, it don't take all of that. I'm not doing it that way. Well, then you know what? Then continue to do it your way. When you want to work in corporate America, you're going to have to dress the part. If you go to Target and they tell you you need to come there with a red t-shirt and some khakis on, that's what you're going to have to do if you want the job. If you work for Chick-fil-A, and they tell you at the end, no matter what somebody says, you need to say my pleasure, then that's what you need to do. So all we're doing, and all Monique was trying to do, is tell you how to get along in the world, how to make the best impression, because you never know who's looking. I had so many people tell me sometimes like, oh, you inspired me. And I'm like, you was looking like you was watching me? People are watching you, you don't even know. And I'm not talking about in a creepy, stalking way. You know what? You never know who you're impressing. You never know who's watching. You never know who's being inspired by you from afar. Be a good inspiration. Show people how to rise up and come up. Help people understand these different industries. Help people understand that you never know who may be watching and how that may be your next breakthrough or opportunity. So don't get ready, stay ready so you can always be ready, okay? And you can't be ready, my opinion, and it can be a very unpopular opinion, is you cannot be ready when you're showing up to the world in pajamas, slippers, a headscarf, and a bonnet. Listen, guys, thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Let me know in the comment section. Chat with me like I said, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. How do you feel about these bonnets, scarves, slippers, and pajamas? Talk to y'all soon, guys. Thanks. Bye.